Greetings, everyone. We want to welcome you today to the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I am your host, Latasha J. Humphrey, founder of the Flora Pearl Foundation, Incorporated. I am super excited to get into this podcast today. But before we get started, we want to let our audience know that this podcast is being brought to you by the Flora Pearl Foundation, where our vision is bridging the gap, building a legacy. Our mission is that we are a 501c3 community-focused nonprofit mentoring organization building healthy relationships and partnerships between women and girls through education, community service, networking, unification, and career planning. Our inspiration is Flora Pearl Humphrey. She was my paternal grandmother, and what she taught me and my family was about faith, family, and community. And that is where I draw my inspiration from. Now, audience, I have the pleasure of introducing to you a woman of integrity who has a beautiful personality. I met her recently through a summer program where we impact the lives of our young people. She is an avid reader who shared a few fun facts recently about some of our presidents. And she is an all-around gem. So without further ado, I present to you Judy LUMZY. Hi, Judy. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am awesome, and it is such an honor to have you with us today. And if you would, please go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. Well, first of all, Natasha, I would like to just say that it's a pleasure to be with you tonight. And as far as a few things about myself, I am an ordained minister, first of all, an educator, and have been in education for several years. I am also, as you stated, an avid reader, and I absolutely love traveling and learning new things.
Okay, well, good stuff. Well, we're gonna dive into to the podcast. So let's go. So
Okay.
I definitely wanted to ask you as it relates to young people, of course, and I know you mentioned even just teaching them. I wanted to know, when did your love for teaching our young people begin?
My love for teaching began many years ago, and it actually started in Sunday school. I grew up in a church that was open to young people, for example, allowing us to be more involved in church, and I started teaching Sunday school at an early age, and as a result, I just simply love at that time working with the younger children. Nowadays, we have what we call children's church, and so it's a different dynamic, if you will, but then I just simply love working with the children that were younger than I am, so it was just cool, and again, my love started long time ago.
Okay, well, good stuff. And I wanted to ask you, as it relates to, say, with support systems, when you hear that word, what does that mean to you?
When I hear the word support as it relates to girls, I think about the concept or statement that it takes a village to raise a girl. We need a village to raise not only a girl but young men as well. But the support system overall, not just from older women or, if you will, a Titus 2 woman, but the support of men as well is very important in promoting and building self-esteem, and promoting and building a sense of well-being, a sense of that I am enough, if you will, a sense of belonging, and a sense of knowing who you are.
Yeah. So go ahead.
And so when I think of a support system, I think about different components and how important it is overall.
Yeah, I love that phrase when you said "I am enough." Can you, just explain that a little bit more?
Yes, let me elaborate on that. First of all, I see it in women who are in their 30s, 40s, 50, and so forth, and so on, who still at that age have self-esteem issues. And when I say or mention the term "I am enough," you are enough just the way you are at this point in life, regardless to where if you're a millennial, generation X, a baby boomer, you're enough. You're enough, and we need to know that we're enough, regardless to what society portrays as beautiful, what society portrays as smart, what society portrays that's relevant or in right now. We're enough just where we are.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I wanted to know, how do you feel that we can create more effective and efficient support systems for women and girls?
Well, first of all, I believe, and this is my personal belief, I believe as women of color and also as women who might not share the same ethnicity as us, I believe if we support each other in our endeavors, even the Word of God tells us that we are beautifully and wonderfully made in His image. That lets us know, first of all, that we're all not going to look alike. We're not going to have the same style, if you will. We're not going to have the same gifts. And so, having said that, I am a strong advocate in us, when I mean us, building one another up and not tearing each other down. We see enough of that by way of media, by way not only TV media, but social media as well, where those of us, especially in the community that I am part of, the African American community, I see a lot of tearing down, and I just wish, and I am hopeful that one day that we'll get to the point where we won't have to feel so insecure within ourselves that we have to pull someone else down.
Yeah. And, with us, we have a program and it's geared towards, our young girls. And so it's called the Will to Win Institute. And, we're able to reach out and really make an impact, in the lives of these young women and girls. And our recent class was all African American girls. And so, like you just said, you being an African American woman, I wanted to know if you could at this time just share some key pieces of advice that you would give to our young women and girls, even as it relates to, like you said, with social media. Like, what's some advice you would give to them?
Okay, one of the first things that I would give to any woman, whether or not it's young or older, but primarily a young woman now, I believe it's important at this age that you build a certain sense of knowing who you are, not needing validation or affirmation from anyone, especially of the opposite sex. Again, it goes back to my perspective of being enough where you are. I believe at that age, especially those middle school and high school years, where young girls go through identity issues or have identity issues because they're primarily comparing themselves to others. And so one of the first things that I would tell them is to just, whatever God bless you with, and in high school, I've said this for many years, whatever you think you have going for you, rock that to the best of your ability. For example, if you feel like you're a good orator, you speak well, rock that. If there's something about your physical appearance, especially the external part, if there's something that you like about yourself, rock that. And when you rock that and build a certain sense of self-esteem within yourself, you won't have time to worry about anything else. I would also like to say to those young women that a lot of what we see on Facebook and other media outlets is not real. A lot of people portray to have this going on or that going on. Is not real, and not to buy into that. But just to be the best person that they can be, regardless of what's going on around them. In fact, I talked to a student today, a young girl, one of the girls in the camp, and she was talking about being bullied and being talked about. And so one of the things I tried to share with her is this: people are going to always lie on you, and if there's haters in the midst, yes, they may lie on you, but your integrity and who you are will supersede that. Even if they lie, people in the end will know who you are by the way, number one, you carry yourself, by your ability to your word being your bond, by your showing up and doing the best job that you can do. Somebody at some point is going to take notice and say, okay, yeah, they must have been lying on them, or it could have just been something else. But I think not only young girls, young women, older women, I think we give our haters, if you will, too much power over our life or in our life. And as a result, we take that stuff in, and it's not needed. It's really toxic, if you will. And so I think I'm on a mission to help build one's self-esteem, whether or not they be 12 years old or whether or not they're 33 years old. I want to help build somebody's self-esteem.
That sounds
and that's
good
kind of where I am.
Yes, I love that. Rock that. That's I said, yeah, even with that, like that's it, like rock that. But like you were saying, and this the whole thing for me when it comes to haters or whatever. I heard a young lady, she's in the entertainment world and she's in branding, but her name is Karen Civil, and she said something one day that just really it fell in line with what I believe, because haters don't move me, but I know people tend to say haters are my motivators. And what she said was, y'all don't move nothing over here. She said, I'm not, and I said, I'm not looking for a hater to motivate me. Like, that's crazy. I'm just like, no, like you have no control over here. And I think that that's what I want, like definitely too, like you were saying with the rock that part, but also on the flip side, like stop giving people your power. It doesn't matter what they're thinking. If they're outside of you, they have no control. And that's why I said, y'all don't move nothing over here. And I think to have that mentality, that would help them out a lot, So yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. You might have to tag that, rock that, and put that on the shirt. You might need to sell that. I'm just saying, that's an idea. You might want to look. Don't jazz that one up and say rock that. So that would be really cute. I love it. I love it. Well, I wanted to move into a topic, as it relates to like you and I, we had a conversation just about you being divorced even. Okay. And, a lot of times guests, that come on that are married, I ask them to share, pieces of advice, with women who desire to be married. However, I mean, to me, even in being married and being divorced, like you still have a lot of insight, So I would like for you to, give some words of wisdom, and I say pearls of wisdom, to women who desire to be married.
Okay. Well, let me start from a divorce perspective. At the time that my ex-husband and I was married over 17 years. And so at the time that we decided to get a divorce, we both sat down and we kind of talked about it, talked about our relationship over the years. And first we realized that we didn't have the life skills to handle a relationship. I graduated that May, and he graduated the following summer. And so we were still in our early 20s. And so we didn't have the life skills. And when I look back at it, I think that a person or anybody should consider getting married after they've established some things. And I always say to people that I think 28 to 30 is a good age. I also wanted to add, because I talk to a lot of people, my ex-husband and I, we left the relationship without any bitterness. In fact, one of the things that we promised each other at the time of before our divorce, at the time we said that we were going to protect each other's character at all costs.
That's beautiful.
And so I walked away from that relationship. He walked away from that relationship. And when people tried to talk negative about him, I stopped them on the spot and said, no, Because the
Mm.
truth of the matter is, wherever we were at that moment did not overshadow or overpower the way I felt about him the day that I married him.
It's good.
I loved him then, and I still love him today. We're just not married,
It's
and
good.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And so I have protected his character at all costs. He has protected mine at all costs. And when we see each other, we're happy and excited to, see each other and talk to each other. For those who, like myself, who's in a season where we're about to get married, one of the things I always say and always tell myself is that, okay, what happened in that relationship, that marital relationship, or even relationships that I've had post my marriage, does not dictate how I feel in this new situation, what I desire in this new situation, and what this new situation is about. And so I would tell anybody who's looking forward to this next chapter in their life to first and foremost make sure that they are healed from any drama from the past, any past stuff baggage that they may bring into the situation. Make sure that they are healed from that. Make sure that they have a level of maturity, because marriage is not easy. It's not going to be a bed of roses every day, but I believe by way of the Spirit, if we put forth our best effort, I believe that not only will God bless, but that we'll be better for it. I think about in the Word of God that talks, I believe it's in 1 Peter, where it talks about I am paraphrasing, if men and no women don't respect their spouses, how our prayers will be hindered. I know that the Message Bible says, how can I love my husband or my wife, but yet not respect them? And so I want to encourage, again, those of us in this chapter, this next season of our life where we're getting ready to get married, I just first and foremost want to encourage us to be mature in this situation and not just thinking about okay, I won't be single anymore, or, I want to join the marriage club because it's something to do. And it's not something to do. It's a lot of hard work that comes along with that. So I just want to encourage anyone, and to also go into the situation being enough, and to go into the situation not thinking that their spouse, whomever they may be, is their all in all, because they should have other interests outside of their spouse, but able to join or mix that together, if you will.
That's beautiful. And I wanted you to kind of follow with that. Can you encourage a woman who chooses not to be married? Because even in society, I know that it's like you can feel the pressure. What about a woman who chooses not to? Can you encourage her?
Yes, because it's not the be-all or end-all if you're single. In fact, I personally chose to remain single for several years after that because I just wanted to enjoy life. I traveled more after I got divorced, and a lot of things that I was able to do. But being single is not a death sentence, or is it something to be ashamed about? Those who are single can reach out and do other things that they would like to do, work on dreams that they've had, like going back to school, like traveling, like working on their weight, working on their personal self-esteem, personal growth. There's many things you can do. Being married is not, the be-all of anything. I just want you to encourage you to rock that wherever you are, whatever season of life you're in. Just rock it.
I love it. That's what's up. And so I wanted to move into the segments, a mother-daughter segment, and it's about This Relationship Matters. And of course, you have read the book. And
Yes.
so I wanted you to share, just, what are some things that stood out to you as it relates to this relationship matters?
Okay. One of the things, well, more than one thing stood out, but right now it's two things that come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is adulting, followed by the fact that you gave your daughter the freedom, the liberty to come to you and talk to you about different things, and to give her opinion as it relates to different things. You and I talked about, or in the book, it was mentioned, you wrote, and we discussed this, how our parents used to say, do as I say and not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And how that was supposed to be the end of it.
Yeah.
I liked your concept in that you gave your child, your daughter, the opportunity to say, okay, I don't agree with that, Mom. Or, okay, can you look at it from this perspective? I feel this about this situation. And I like that because it opens up the door for her to come and talk about anything to you.
Yeah.
Anything concerning sex, if you will, boys, maybe bullying, maybe stuff that she's going through as it relates to her own personal self-esteem. It gives her the leeway to come to you and just talking like, oh, okay, my mom's cool, because she'll understand that. I remember, and this is just a personal note, I grew up the only girl out of 4 brothers, male siblings, who are older.
Wow.
And so I couldn't have conversations with my mom and dad as it relates to sex. I had questions. Is it a bad thing? No. Somewhere along the way, in the religious communities, they've, I believe, portrayed the physical aspect of life as being something bad, and it's not, because if that was so, I don't think that God, we would have read that in the Bible. So I wish I had the opportunity. I wish that my parents would have been liberal enough or free enough to say, okay, this is what life is all about. This is what's going on regarding sex. All of that information I end up getting in my girl group with my friends.
Okay.
Where I wish my mama had been free enough to say, okay, what is it that you want to know about these things? And I'll sit down and talk to you.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real, though.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
And these girls, we learn a lot of information. Some information that is correct, but also some information that wasn't correct.
Right.
Outside our home.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I am a big proponent of young people being able to identify their body parts, if you will. I talk to in classes, and I don't think that there's really a young age to, that they should know. I've seen in other communities outside of the African American community where 2- and 3-year-olds are able to identify their genitalia.
Yes.
I have a penis. I have a vagina.
Right.
My breast is this. And so I believe, my personal opinion is that when we teach our children those things, then no sexual predator, no teacher, no person in the religious community, no family member will be able to violate them because they have the information.
That's good. Yeah. Do you know why you feel like in our community that is such taboo?
Because I believe a lot of it is just we don't have the knowledge.
Okay.
We didn't have folks to sit down and really talk to us, and that's one of the reasons why I like your book, because you tell your daughter, oh, okay, in the book, basically what you're saying to your daughter is, okay, I might not understand understand everything that you're going through at that age. I might not understand what your opinions are, but I'm letting you know as your mother, I'm here for you, to talk to you, to share information with you.
Yes. And that's real.
It gives her the freedom to say, I can go to my mama. I don't have to rely on a girlfriend for information. I don't have to rely on reading a book, if you will, information, because I can go to my mom and she'll answer the questions.
Yeah.
And then she'll be real with me. She won't sugarcoat it.
Right.
She won't tell me that I have a purse or a pocketbook. My mom would tell me that I have a vagina, and this is how I handle this vagina, and this is how I take care of it.
That's right.
And so when I tell you, not only are you shining, Ms. Humphrey, but you have, in my opinion, written a piece of work that is relevant, that is informative, that is needed in today's society, especially among the young women.
I really appreciate that. I really do. And it's that is so deep though. I mean, because that really is true. I appreciate, like I said, you sharing that, and just your kind, encouraging words. I mean, we've talked about this, and that's really, to see it come out, like when someone reads it and they actually get what you're trying to, and they really interpret it, even in the way that they see it, or that they can really utilize it and pass that information along. Like, that's what it's about. I believe it is about each one teach one, and it truly is about, like you talked about, inspiring and just even making an impact. And it's about like whomever I touch. I shared this earlier with a parent. I said, whomever I come in contact with, I want them to be better. Like, I want it to be an experience, you know what I mean? Where they walk away and I didn't take something from them. And so to hear that, where that's what you got from it, where, it's like, you empower even these young girls, definitely, where you own who you are. And that's all of you, body, all of it, Yes, I love that. I love it.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you again. I appreciate that so much. I really do.
Yes. Because we just allow people to just tell us what they think of us, as opposed to us confessing to ourselves what we think about ourselves.
Yes. Oh, my.
And it starts at a young age. And guess what? Women grow up thinking, oh, I'm ugly because some boy got mad at you, or some hater got mad at you and called you ugly. Or, some teacher told you that you were dumb and that you weren't going to amount to anything. No, we let people speak that into our lives when we have first the ability to not take that in, or to rebuke it, if you will, and we have the ability to start talking positive things to ourselves, standing in the mirror talking positive things to ourselves. I am a great woman of God. I am who God made me to be. I am prosperous, so forth and so on. I am a good student. I am excelling in my classes. I am going to make the cheerleader team. I am going to make the dance team. So those are the things that we need to tell ourselves, as opposed to letting people speak into our life those negative thoughts and those negative things.
That's beautiful. And that's it. I mean, I'm big on affirmations, so I hear what you're saying. Just those confessions, things that you're saying over yourself, and to be able to say you speak life, and that whole self-love, self-worth, self-care, self-acceptance. I'm like, you've got to own it. And that's why I love when, that phrase when you said rock that, and when you said I am enough. Like, you don't own you. That's why I said y'all don't move nothing over here. If this is what I say, you don't have authority to come. But it does take you either being taught that, even being younger, so you can own it and really walk in it. And then even still, if you learned it later, but just being able to own it and redefine, like, even who you are and just what you choose, how you choose to show up, you know what I mean, in life. And so I love that. I think it's amazing, and that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I will. Thank you. You're welcome.
Awesome. And I wanted to know, what has your mother taught you about yourself?
Oh, wow. Many things. One of the most important things, well, A and B part.
Okay.
The A part was whenever I had to make tough decisions to sleep on it, because things always seems better. You always are able to think better the next morning. And so I've in life, whenever there were tough decisions, or if I was worried about something, I always sleep on it, and then the next morning when I rise, I pick it up then. And 9 times out of 10, I felt better about the situation. I felt like I could make a better decision during those times. And then secondly, comparison.
Okay.
She always talked about the fact that God made you. And you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. Just keep doing you. Just keep doing you.
I love it.
And He'll take care of the rest. I was talking to one of my girlfriends who she just had her 40th birthday in May. Okay. And so she, I know I'm taking a little sidebar, but I think this is going to help bless somebody tonight. She was dating this guy for several years. The guy ended up choosing somebody else. Okay. And so Kim was distraught about the situation. And so one of the things I said to Kim, and I remember some teachings that I got from my mother, my grandmother, and other women in my family, is that just because he didn't choose you doesn't mean that you're not a good person. Okay. Just because he didn't choose you doesn't mean that somebody else won't come along who is better than him will choose you. And so for whoever that's for, just because they didn't choose you doesn't mean that you're not good. You're not enough, if you will. And so just want to just hone into that. But again, go back, we give people too much power over us.
Yes. Yes. So, I think that was the best thing to be able to say, to her, and not that it takes away, in the moment, kind of that sting, because you spent your time, and time, it means something,
Yes.
And even just your energy, like you really put that into it, and thinking that you were investing, and really thinking it would be something. But it really is like when you could walk away, though, and whether that person walked away from you, but whether you choose to just no longer deal with things that that don't serve you anymore, and being able to walk away from those things. I think that you do you can show up different, and really take back the power, even if you gave it away. It's like taking that back, and then you can renew, and it's a rebirth. You know what I mean? Like it's totally, it's up to you, and no matter how long it took, and I mean for her to get to that space, but to know what you shared with her, it didn't define, like it didn't stop nothing. You know what I mean? Like you breathing,
Yes. Yes. That was a choice he made, and maybe years down the road he'll realize, or it may not take years. He'll realize, oh man, Kim was who I was supposed to be with. But we have free will.
We do. But the thing is, what if, like, that was the blessing, though?
Yeah, then he missed out on the blessing.
Yeah, like him, well, even him, right? It's like he chose, and that's fine. Like it's almost like you wish them well if that's what you choose. Because I don't want you to be here if you don't want to be here. Like that's not what you want to do. Trying to convince somebody that you're worthy. It's like, I'm worthy because I'm here. You know what I mean? And not trying to be sassy or arrogant, anything like that. It's just like, I don't have to prove to you how worthy I am. Like that's not fun. Like that's not what we're trying to do here,
That's not.
And so what the words you gave her, I really believe that, that helped her though. And I believe whomever hears this that needed that, you sharing it, they got it. And it's a blessing for them as well. So thank you for sharing that. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Well, we're going to move into a segment that's a little bit fun, and we get to learn a little more about you. And so when I ask a question, then it probably be, you may have a one-liner or one word, or you may have an explanation. So are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. What book most influenced you?
Gosh, now you put me on the spot because I love to read, but I can say early on 2 books. The first one was Up From Slavery.
Okay.
Talking about the life of Booker T. Washington. And then secondly, Mary McLeod Bethune.
Okay.
Both of them are similar in that both went through some things trying to get their education. Booker T. Washington, for example, he walked from his home to Howard University, and he had had to go in places where he slept under the street, the sidewalk, if you will. Didn't know where his next meal was going to come from, but he had a hunger and a thirst for education. Mary McLeod Bethune, who Bethune-Cookman College is named after, also had a similar situation, but she rose to fame, ended up working with President Roosevelt's wife. She brought her into the administration as the first African-American woman, I believe, to work in an administration. And so both of those books has inspired my thinking over the years and still inspire me to today, because when I get tired and don't want to finish a project, I often think about Booker T. Washington and the things he had to go through. And not only that, I read a book earlier this year. I didn't know that the black community, the powers that be, had a problem with him, thought he was an Uncle Tom at the time. And one of them was W.E.B. Du Bois, who was hating on Booker T. Washington for a season, but before both of them died, they were able to come to a general consensus about the uplifting of African American people, if you will. And so it's just interesting to read where we come from and to see how far we've come, but also to see the idea, also to read the ideologies and the theories in which they thought about in those times.
Yes, I love reading about our ancestors and just really honoring them and celebrating them, because just like you said, you learn so much, and you want to be able to know where you come from and even the mindset of different people who, just different ones that, like you said, they give you inspiration, because you're like, if you were able to do that, then clearly, now, and we may have different challenges, but they definitely overcame so much. And so for them to sacrifice for us to be here, like, that's just a beautiful thing. So that's awesome. I love it. And you have to share, I know I mentioned in my intro about the presidents. I think you talked about President Abe Lincoln. And it was a one other, if I'm not mistaken, but it was some fun facts. So if you'll share a couple of those, I think that'll be cool. And also the book that you read.
Okay.
Because, I think you read different books on the presidents, right?
I have.
Okay.
Some interesting facts, like Thomas Jefferson, for example. I believe that we're familiar with his relationship with Sally Hemings. Most people are familiar with his relationship with Sally Hemings. But after his wife died, Martha, he was still in politics. And so when he became president, he wasn't, quote unquote, married. So Dolly Madison, whose husband also became president, used to be his date to different functions. And I thought that was interesting, that another man's wife would accompany another president to all his functions because he wasn't there and needed a date.
Wow,
also,
yeah.
at that time when Thomas Jefferson was president, Dolly Madison, she did a lot of work in the White House, in the home. And so I thought that was interesting. Abraham Lincoln, at a young age, he was an avid reader, and his father, believe it or not, did not like it. In fact, he and his father did not have a wonderful relationship growing up. When he was growing up, and I thought, oh wow, his mother died when he was young, and his father ended up marrying another woman who not only encouraged his reading, but encouraged him the rest of his life. He had a better relationship with his stepmom than he had with his own father. And so I thought that was very, very interesting. Theodore Roosevelt, throughout his tenure as president, always was sick for several years, even though I believe the television became popular during his era. Most people in the United States did not know that he was in a wheelchair, walk with a limp, because they listened to him through fireside chats on the radio. And so I thought that was interesting. And I often wonder, what would the American people think if they had actually seen those times when he was in a wheelchair, or when people had to help him up to a podium. The American public never knew that.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty deep.
That's deep. Richard Nixon, for example, he was not only impeached, but he was just simply a hater. He hated folks in politics for no reason. He had a terrible marital life. He didn't treat his wife all that good. And so it was just interesting things about our presidents that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind.
No, that's pretty cool. Just some different things. You never know, how things are. So thank you for sharing those things.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask, what keeps you grounded?
Meditation.
Love it.
I meditate often. I get a little quiet time. Lately it's been busy with school. And when I don't get that meditation time in, I can tell it because I'm frustrated.
Okay.
And so I spend a lot of time meditating on Wednesdays.
Okay.
I shut down. I don't answer my cell phone. In fact, I turn the phone off. I devote that day to myself and whatever my spiritual needs are. I still handle things like work, and if I have to attend to some school business, I take care of that. But I don't want to hear any of my friends' problems that day. I don't want to deal with nobody. I just want to make sure I'm centered so that I can deal with life. You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes we'll get bogged down with other folks' drama, and it'll weigh on us to a point that, we don't. We're thinking about the cares of the world from their perspective, and we can't even handle our own things that we have going on. So I try to stay centered for me, promote my mental health, so that I can not only show up and deal with the stuff that I need to deal with, but at times help others deal with the stuff that they need to deal with.
I love it. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, you got to guard that. You got to guard that time for yourself and do it unapologetically. So I love it.
But it's not without criticism, if you will, because people in my life that don't, even my guy for a season was like, I just don't understand why you have to turn the phone off. And, I was like, if I don't, I got to stay centered for me in order for me to be a good me for you.
Right. Yeah. That's beautiful that even was a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I would think,
beautiful.
Oh, okay, you look like you'll understand this, but I'm I just believe men, they are truly different from us. They are from Mars, and of course, we are from Venus. So,
yeah. Totally different. Like, this is what I need. It's like, what? Like, that doesn't even, so, well, but definitely those who do care, what I've come to understand, and those who are really a part of your tribe, they get it. They get it. And if they don't get it, they respect it. That's what I'll say. They don't have to necessarily understand all of what you're doing for you. But if you can respect it, like you can be on the team, so I love it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what are 3 qualities that got you where you are today?
First and foremost, being you got me on that one. I think the first quality that got me where I am today is work ethic and being fair. Secondly, the ability to just deal with people where they are. They might not share my same views or my same opinions, but just to be able to deal with people where they are. And then lastly, staying in my own lane. I just feel like I don't have to tear you down or anybody else down to make myself feel good. In fact, I at all costs, try to stay away from drama as much as I can, because this is what I know for sure. A lie is easy to travel than the truth. And I tend to look at people, I wouldn't say differently, but when someone is in the presence of a large group and being intentional and trying to tear somebody down, it kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially when they're not being concerned about a situation that somebody may go through is different. But when you're intentionally trying to change the opinions of others, to turn them against someone else, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. Yeah. But I've adopted this philosophy: just pray for them and keep it moving.
Yes, I love it. That's beautiful. What is something that every woman should try once in her lifetime?
Step outside of the box, not be so structured, if you will, because I can be structured, and I have to tell myself sometimes, and I think that's part of my personality. I can do, the same thing over and over. I'm arise in the morning at a certain time. I'm going to read these scriptures and, get ready for whatever my day at a certain time. But I believe stepping out of the box not only transform us, but it gives us a different perspective. Now, I'm not saying there's anything bad about those things that I do, because we need some structure in our life. But also, if we don't take risks, we'll never know what's on the other side of that. Just to say, oh, okay, I want to go back to school and get a PhD, but you're not doing anything about it. It's just something you said. You hadn't applied any action or put any action to it. So I believe being a risk taker at times is a good thing.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite kind of food?
Oh, gosh. Seafood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where would you like to visit if you could go anywhere?
If I can go anywhere this time, I would like to go to Italy, and I would like to have a conversation with 2 people. That would be Barack Hussein Obama and the late Martin Luther King Jr.
Love it. Okay. And what is a goal you want to achieve in the next 10 years?
Oh, that's good. In the next 10 years, I would like to be happy in the space that I am in, number one, and then secondly, share more things in family wise. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Okay.
Because I believe everything else will come. I believe, the money would come. I believe that what I'm doing educationally will be completed by that time. So, yeah, I believe everything else will come. But family is important to me, as, the same with you. So.
Yeah, I love it. And what is something, what advice you would give to a woman with a broken heart?
First of all, I would advise them to acknowledge that there is a broken heart, a situation with a broken heart there. And then secondly, I would advise them to seek counseling.
Okay. I love it. Perfect. Well, we're going to move into our faith segment. And so we basically like, people to share a time where their faith has been tested. And this helps people, helps to encourage others, where they may know, like, this person is going through something, but sometimes we don't talk about how we got over or how we got through it. And so if you could share that to encourage someone.
Okay. So one of the things that I've had to encounter was losing a child.
Okay.
In puberty. And that was one of the worst things that I've ever had to endure. I can't imagine raising a child and something happened to raising it, watching it grow, and something happened to it. And I'm sure somebody may have been in this place where they question God, like, why did you allow this to happen? Mm-hmm. What I've realized is that some of these questions that I ask God is not going to be answered until I see Him, until we get on the other side. And so I went through a season, and this is real talk, ladies. I went through a season where I didn't talk to anyone for 6 months after I lost a child. And it was very, very hard. But without continuous prayer, without family involvement, people who love me, encouraging me, I don't think I would be here today. It was just that bad. I honestly and truthfully thought about killing myself after that. So, and just being transparent, I had to acknowledge that was hurt. Mm-hmm. I had to acknowledge that I needed to forgive myself for thinking that way, that God would, because the Bible tells us that God is love, but at the time I didn't see that, because what I've later learned is that maybe God saw something down the road that Jay didn't see. And so I just accepted. If God allowed it, I just accepted, and I moved on quickly.
Wow. That's thank you so much for being open and willing to share that. And I definitely know it will encourage someone. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, because that's a hard thing to go through. I think about people who want to have children and can't, but the loss of a child is something else.
That's totally different. Yeah, that's something. So thank you for sharing.
No problem at all.
Yeah. Well, we want to move into our closing segment, and it's called Matters of the Heart Moment. And if you had the opportunity to speak to your younger self, what would you say to her?
If I had to speak to my younger self today, the first thing I would tell her is to relax.
Love it.
Because what's happening today, what was happening when I was 19 was going to be so much different at 29. And so I would just tell her to relax. It's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that deep.
Okay. Okay. Well, what motivates you?
One of the things that motivates me is to just stay in the present. Mm-hmm. And not get all bent out of shape about stuff, about what's going on in personal life, or what's going on, situations that I'm dealing with. Just stay in the present. Because like I said, when we look at situations it's going to look different down the road. It's going to be different down the road. But at the time when we're going through it, we're like, oh my God, it seemed like the worst thing in the world, but just to stay present.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And who inspires you?
I am inspired currently about one or two people in the religious segment. I also am inspired by people who are not in the religious community but are shining, if you will. One of those persons, I don't know, I'm trying to see if it's an older lady, and she maybe had passed away, but several people have inspired me to just keep on keeping on.
Okay. Well, is there any last minute piece of advice that you would like to share?
Yes. One of the things as a child I learned very early on as a child is, and this was, and it came from my grandmother, and it was relational wise.
Okay.
She said, I remember I was in the 4th grade, and I came to, our parents and grandparents can tell when something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the 4th grade, I was feeling some kind of way, upset or heartbroken, if you will, over this guy.
Okay.
And I remember going to my grandmother's house that weekend, and you know how grandmothers are, they don't hold their tongue. So she was like, well, what's wrong with you? And, proceeded to tell her, well, so-and-so, he quit me, da-da-da-da. These were her words, and I have hung on to those words for many years. She was like, listen, you and Arthur, y'all don't know what y'all doing. You're just children. What you thought was nothing. When you get older, you'll understand that what Arthur did was the best thing that he could have ever done for you. At the time, I'm looking at her crazy, like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, when you're hurt, you get over that hurt, right? Yes, ma'am. She said it prepares you for other situations in life, other hurdles in life that you have to get over. And so that was some of the best advice I received early on, because when I am faced with a hurdle, it may, in some instances, throw me off guard. But listen, once I get over that hurdle, I can go on, because I know that I have built myself up, or God has built me to the point that I'm going to be able to face the next hurdle and move on from that. So, yeah, that was amongst some of the best advice I've ever received.
Well, that sounds good to me. And so,
I have enjoyed you tonight.
I have too. I want to thank you so much, for being with us and sharing with us. It is truly amazing, and you really blessed us this evening. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Awesome. And our goal at the Flora Pearl Foundation is to always be a blessing to all of those that we come in contact with by operating with the spirit of excellence. We want to thank you all so much for listening today. And you can visit our website at www.florapearlfoundation.org. We look forward to talking with you all soon. Keep shining.